Here's something wild. Two companies that sell almost the exact same product built two completely opposite empires, and the choices they made reveal something deeper about American business, culture, and what we actually want when we walk into a coffee shop. Starbucks and Dunkin. You know them. You probably have one within 5 minutes of you right now. Starbucks buys 3% of the world's entire coffee supply every year. Dunkin sells 60 cups every single second. These aren't just coffee chains, they're cultural institutions. But here's what nobody talks about. These companies don't just compete. They reject each other's entire philosophy, and that fundamental disagreement shaped the way millions of Americans wake up every morning. So let's break down the war. The split, it starts with geography, but it goes so much deeper than that. Starbucks, Seattle, 1971. Founded by a magazine writer and two teachers who were genuinely obsessed with premium coffee. Quincy, Massachusetts, 1948. Started by a guy named Bill Rosenberg who quit school at 14 during the Great Depression to help support his family. He started by selling ice from a tricycle at age 3, then ran food trucks serving factory workers by his 30s. You can already feel the divide, right? One brand born from intellectual curiosity and cultural sophistication, the other forged in survival and working-class grit. Starbucks owns the West Coast. Dunkin dominates the East. Of Dunkin's 10,000 locations, 9,000 sit east of the Mississippi. You won't find a single one in Washington, Oregon, or Idaho. Starbucks territory, untouchable. Dunkin believes they can eventually double to 20,000 U.S. stores, which means they'll have to crack into land Starbucks has controlled for decades. But the real battle isn't about maps. It's about identity. It's about class. It's about what coffee means to the person holding the cup. The franchise question. This is where it gets interesting. Bill Rosenberg was so passionate about franchising that he literally helped create the International Franchise Association in 1960. At the time, franchising was a fringe concept most serious business people dismissed entirely, but Rosenberg saw it differently. He called it the ultimate expression of entrepreneurship and free enterprise. Let people own their own piece of the dream. Spread opportunity, not just profit. He started franchising after opening just 5 company-owned shops. Today, over 99% of Dunkin' locations are franchised. Almost every Dunkin' you've ever been to was owned by someone who bet their savings, their future, their livelihood on that brand. Someone who saw an opportunity and took it. Starbucks, they refused completely. Howard Schultz, who acquired Starbucks in the 80s and transformed it based on the high-end espresso culture he'd experienced in Milan, saw franchising as a threat. He feared losing control, damaging quality, diluting the carefully crafted image they'd spent decades building. So, they went company-owned. Sure, you'll find about 7,000 licensed Starbucks tucked into airports, grocery stores, and hotel lobbies. But the standalone cafes, the flagship locations, Starbucks runs them directly. 2 founders, 2 visions of control. One wanted to spread the dream, the other wanted to protect it. And that choice rippled through everything that came after. The identity crisis. Here's where things get fascinating, and honestly, a little strange. In the 90s, America fell in love with coffee. Cafes exploded on every corner. Sitcoms like Friends made coffee shops the default hangout. The culture shifted. And Starbucks, they were born for this moment. Coffee was their DNA from day one. Premium beans, espresso culture, upscale atmosphere, specialty drinks. When the boom hit, they didn't pivot, they just accelerated. Dunkin' had a problem. They were a donut company. Their entire identity was donuts. Their mascot was Fred the Baker, a lovable everyman making donuts before dawn. Coffee was an afterthought, something you grabbed because you were already there for a glazed twist, and suddenly, the entire market was moving toward beverages. The thing they treated as a side offering was becoming the main event, so they did something most brands would be terrified to do. They abandoned their identity. Flavored coffees like French vanilla and hazelnut arrived in 1995. Iced coffee dropped in 1997. Espresso and lattes came in 2003. Then in 2006, they ran a commercial openly mocking the overcomplicated coffee menus at places like Starbucks. That same year, they launched America Runs on Dunkin'. Not America Eats Dunkin', not America Loves Dunkin' Donuts. Runs on. The beverage became the brand. And in 2018, they removed donuts from their name entirely. Just Dunkin'. The company that built an empire on fried dough walked away from it in the name. Meanwhile, Starbucks was quietly drifting the opposite direction, not abandoning coffee by any means, but leaning into food as a complementary revenue stream. Cake Pops became a massive hit after launching in 2010. They spent hundreds of millions acquiring a San Francisco bakery chain in 2012. They opened their own original bakery concept in 2017. Not a full transformation like Dunkin's, but the symmetry is almost poetic. The coffee company started selling food. The donut company started selling coffee. They essentially swapped roles over 2 decades, and most people didn't even notice it happening. The marketing divide. Dunkin' has always believed in traditional advertising. Big, loud, impossible to miss. TV commercials have been a staple for decades. They've run high-profile Super Bowl spots featuring Boston icons like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. They put Fred the Baker on screens across America in the 80s. Their strategy has always been, get in front of people, stay in front of people, remind them you exist. Starbucks took the opposite approach. They didn't run a single national television commercial until 2007. Think about that. A company that became a household name without buying a single TV ad for over 3 decades. Their theory was simple, almost radical. Pour that money into the in-store experience instead. Better music, better atmosphere, better trained baristas who actually knew your name and your order. If someone has a genuinely great experience, gets to know the staff, enjoys the vibe, and feels comfortable staying a while, they'll come back, and they'll probably tell their friends. The third place philosophy. Not home, not work, but somewhere in between where you actually wanted to be. That was the real marketing strategy. Make the product so good, the experience so memorable, that customers become the advertising. Even now, as Starbucks navigates disappointing sales numbers and increasing competition, their recovery plan doubles down on the same idea. Renovate stores to make them more inviting, hire more baristas to speed up service and reduce wait times, bring back perks like free refills to encourage people to stick around longer. 2 completely different bets on human psychology. Dunkin' believes visibility drives behavior. Starbucks believes experience creates loyalty. And both have worked, just for different audiences. The ownership shuffle. Starbucks has operated as a standalone independent company for its entire existence. One brand, one vision, one set of decision makers accountable only to shareholders, nobody pulling strings from above. Dunkin' has been bought and sold like a stock portfolio. In 1989, they were acquired by the parent company of Baskin-Robbins. Ice cream and donuts seemed like a natural pairing. They experimented with combo locations, absorbed the Mr. Donut chain, tried to build a dessert empire. Then in 2006, the whole portfolio was sold to private equity for $2.4 billion. New owners, new priorities, new strategies. Then in 2020, Inspire Brands, already a massive restaurant conglomerate, acquired everything for $11.3 billion. Each time, Dunkin' became a piece in someone else's larger game. Starbucks stayed in control. Dunkin' became a chess piece. And that difference shows up in how they move, how they adapt, how they think about the future. The future. Here's the thing, the war isn't over. It's just getting more crowded. Coffee is more competitive now than it's ever been. Beyond competing with each other, both brands face pressure from fast food giants like McDonald's and Panera that sell enormous volumes of coffee alongside their regular menus. Then there's the new wave. Drive-through focused upstarts like Dutch Bros and 7 Brew have been gaining serious momentum, building loyal followings with simpler models and faster service. And Luckin Coffee, China's largest chain, opened its first U.S. stores in 2025, potentially adding another major player to an already crowded field. The battlefield is packed, and the old rules don't apply anymore. Starbucks operates about 17,000 domestic locations, but has placed their biggest bets on international growth. Their overseas locations have actually outnumbered U.S. stores since 2018. They currently operate roughly 5 times more international locations than Dunkin'. One's looking outward, building a global empire. Dunkin wants to double to 20,000 U.S. locations, which means invading Starbucks' West Coast stronghold and competing in markets where they've historically had zero presence. One's digging in, fighting for domestic dominance. Both have survived for decades by sticking to their philosophy. Starbucks, control, quality, experience, premium positioning. Dunkin, accessibility, franchising, speed, working class loyalty. The question isn't which one is better. The question is which strategy survives when the market is this saturated, this competitive, this unpredictable. Because here's what's really happening. We're not just choosing coffee, we're choosing what kind of America we want to live in. The premium, curated, experience-driven world Starbucks created, or the fast, affordable, no-nonsense efficiency Dunkin represents? Two companies, two philosophies, one market that's running out of room. And honestly, if you just love good coffee, you've never had more options than right now. Whether that's good for Starbucks and Dunkin' or the beginning of the end of their dominance, we're about to find out. If you want more breakdowns of the decisions that define billion-dollar brands, subscribe. New inflection points every week.